white only. He only does black, but today he got a stain. It's not even a stain. It was just a brush of dust. It has now become a problem. Now we have to close the show. Let's see you in the next episode. Thank you once again, guys. That was a short one, but it's all about the triggers that take us through mental health. Triggers come from relationships, childhood abuses, peer group, peer pressure. I think the triggers are more than 30, 40, 50. Everything is a trigger. But it's all about you knowing your trigger and how you circumnavigate around it. Because if you let your trigger become your focus, you become ill. And mental illness is not somewhere you would want to be at any given time. So Kevin, can you introduce our next chapter? Let's call them chapters or episode. What do you want us to talk about next?
Well, this might be a very sensitive matter to young people, most especially my generation, as the early
Generation
20s.
Z.
Yes, the early 20s, mid 30s. There's a problem when it comes to relationship matters and love. In this generation, Nairobi currently, people are saying it's per person sharing. Mtu ni wako mkiwa na yeye. That is what people are moving with, and I think it's a problem because our generation maintaining relationships is hard. It's very difficult.
Even before you go on, Prince Daniel Lovey, I can see you laughing when you just had relationships. You thought we are targeting you. So tell us about your story, because you said being in one relationship is becoming hard, but you can see your parents, your parents have been in one relationships, hanging on there. Some of us have strayed, some of us have gone back to relationships, some of us have taken our past to improve our present and to hope the future will remain the same.
Yeah.
But what's your take on relationships in this Kenya of today?
So the bottom line is relationships are meant to have people come together, build a home, build an empire. And even, in as much as we are working hard, at the end of the day, our goal is to ensure that if you are a gentleman, of course, you need a lead. So that, okay, I'm not trying to say there was a reason as to why maybe an Englishman came and said, behind every successful man, there is a woman.
Oh.
There was that reason.
Did you use the word English?
Yeah, that was an English. Oh. Yeah, that's what I said. There was a reason.
So the Trukanas, they don't have that saying. It must be an Englishman.
But no, I mean, like the one
the Kambas didn't have the same. Why do you have to use English?
I mean, like it was like that word was meant to cut across. Was meant to cut across every side. Okay, now on that.
But then your relationship thing is
white.
Is a white relationship.
No, not that white.
So you're still in the.
But before you go on, this is a question. When they say behind every successful man, there's a woman, do they mean the wife or the mother?
Or the wife or the mother? Basically, it says there is a woman. That's why I've not.
But now,
I've not diversified.
Yes.
How is it applicable? Okay. So you say the mother or a what?
Is it the mother?
Always a what? A woman.
But
a woman. What is the work of a woman? It's like in one way or the other, she's an helper to help you, or maybe alters whatever you are doing just to bring success, triggering success. So the other thing. So that means that out of every successful man, there is always a woman. So, and you see, all of us came from a woman because we are all men. So at one given time, you also need children, you also need a generation to foresee. Now, when it comes to matters of love, I don't know I'm going to put it in this way. When you talk about generation, because it's bringing in the aspect of Gen Z. I tend to believe there was at one given time drugs trafficking, it became very much rampant, and now people started hiding.
Are we still in relationships?
Yeah,
Women,
yes,
now we are on drugs.
I want to bring in the aspect.
So,
When it became rampant, and like there was a lot of force and pressure everywhere, so everyone decided now to kutumia miadarati kama amejificha, because like now it's not in the public domain. If someone suspects that you are doing drugs, you'll be like, hey bro, you have to go to jail, because this is not something that something that the society it is detestable in the society. Now love has been turned into that. Like it has to be hidden. If you come one time and show, and we can talk out of the reality. If you just show the community or even the boys that you're hanging around with, I have a girlfriend. Hey. Emenda. That is so love has become a traffic, or it's like a drug trafficking. Like no one wants to see.
Daniel, love for you. You talk out of the reality. Not in reality, but out of the reality that love has become something you have to hide. So it is good for us who are trying to mentor the young people to give them a bit of what we know and not really just put the whole plate to them to decide what they want, because some of the things they are doing are becoming detrimental to their own health and to their own relationships. That's why there are divorces. There are more divorces than ever. There are some relationships that are non-starters. People are high and it's bye-bye. Yeah, toxic.
No.
And there's a group. Kevo just said no. There's a group of boys who have decided, don't go the LGBT way, no. But they won't go the women way. So they become celibates by design. They just decide to focus on becoming rich. That's their grind. They becoming masculine, not even masculine, as in physique becomes, they go to the gym, bodybuild and do all that. And then now there's the other group that want to become the ideal husbands to their girls. But we are forgetting that it's a two-way thing. You might be all that to prepare yourself, but is she all that waiting for you?
And
I'm not saying anything. I'm just telling you, once you're in a relationship, before you put your heart into the relationship, put your mind open that anything can happen.
So that means
This thing you've been told character development. It can happen.
So you're trying to say that we should leave rooms for disappointments.
Leave room for disappointment.
Yes.
And the time you live in that room, take it as a learning process. Learn the person properly. Don't just rush for beauty. Beauty is all over.
And people are being born every day.
And you can be driving out of your house, seated with your wife, and a beautiful girl passes. You can't pretend that you haven't seen her. Even a pastor has seen that girl pass. But that is just beauty passing. You can have a look, don't focus your head. Just look and ask your wife, what do you think about that girl? Ask.
Now that's where the
Now that's the problem. You have to have your wife as a friend before having her as a wife. Because if you cannot joke about things like that, because if you see a handsome guy, because you're not gay to see a handsome guy. You can notice a handsome guy. You're not gay. And you can joke it, because she'll see the handsome guy. Joke it. Na huo jamaa unaonaje? She'll tell you, wewe twende pale tunaenda. Now you'll know the focus is all on you. So it's about you and your heart. And relationships are quite tedious. Having you wake up the same person every day, unazoeana. Hiyo shida ya kuzoeana ndio shida. Na nyinyi watu wa kuchoka haraka. Unaweza zoeana ukutana umesahau hata usikii kurudi home. Na ndio wanaume sasa wamekwama kwa mabaa na watch ball mpaka saa ngapi. Juu wanaogopa kurudi tena narudi tena kwa ule mtu. Hana kitu ya kunichangamsha. Na ile siku ulikuwa namkatia, kila kitu yake ilikuwa na kuchangamsha. But because vile anajiweka sasa kwa nyumba. Si settle, umempatia mtoi. Hiyo ndio ilikuwa focus yake. Si umempatia roof. Si doi iko na dinga. So yeye pia anaweka game yake down. Madem pia wanafaa waamke wa up game yao. Ndio level yako ya taki inabakianga tu iko juu. Task yako ya kumuona kila saa iko juu.
Kwa tu wa. And kidogo tu love you. Because I know what we're talking about might bring backlash. Let me make it clear. It's not all women in our generation are like that. But most.
Unasema most. Viewer, andika hapo down tujue ni wangapi.
Most. Hata ladies pia nyinyi, hata nyinyi mnajijua. Mnaweza comment hapo, hata nyinyi mnajijua. So mimi tu kweli, you guys talk among yourselves and you know how you guys are moving.
So my main aspect is in as much as we tackle, because as we are trying to reach out, we tend to believe that most of the people, not even the highest percentage being girls who are found guilty, or they are found in most of these mistakes that happen in relationship. Now, my main concern is always, why would you take your life simply because of another guy? You found him cheating with another lady, or even a guy after you realized all these years you've been spending life, but you find that you are sharing. Now that
to enjoy. Viewer, huyu jamaa anatukanganya hapa na maneno. Ama nyinyi mmesikiaje hapa?
Hebu pardon.
Wewe rudia tena hapo, rudia.
I'm trying to say,
will back.
There is this, in this aspect, you find that a man you will take your life simply because of a lady.
Aye, madness.
And there is another lady. She found out that his boyfriend was cheating on her. And now she goes and says, now why should I leave? And you find that this lady goes on and commits suicide. Like, I'm trying to figure out why would get to that extent.
Okay. Now that one brings us back to relationships and mental health. When you overput your heart into someone, you bring in a trust thing into your heart. So you trust your everything on that lady. She has cheated on you. What you're supposed to do is, you sit back, jipeleke mkutano. Are you related to this person? No. Right? Sure. You met her while you are living. Yes. So you're not related. You're just in a relationship, but you're not related. See there? Now, being in that relationship, anything can happen. Let's say if she dies, she didn't cheat, she died. Will you die?
No, you won't.
You won't. But because she has cheated on you, the only logical thing is not to cheat back. Is to part ways. And that's why I was telling you guys, in such things, we should differentiate a marriage counselor and a divorce counselor. Because a marriage counselor will insist on this marriage has to work. And they'll give you pointers of a marriage that works. But a divorce counselor will make sure that this one will not go back to this one. And when you think of going back, think of, are you going back into what you were in because you want to forgive the person? And what if these are perennial, yani it's not a perennial, naitwaje hiki tu. Huyu ni mtu anazoea. Huyu ni mtu yini mazoea. Leo atakwambia sorry. Kesho atarudia. Hiyo ni kazi ya divorce. So divorce counselors and marriage counselors should come in and take that gap, because people will take their lives because ume invest so much mentally, financially, hata wengine wameinvest spiritually, wengine walitolewa kwa Uislamu wakaingizwa wamegeuzwa nini? Unaona? So your investment yote unaona inaenda down the drain. Just pack your bags. Paper bag ni how much? 20 bob. Chukua ngoza zako mbili, katisho, wallet, weka kwa mfuko. Mwachie kila kitu.
That's if kama kuna mtoto ama kama.
Kama kuna mtoto decide atakaa side gani. Wacha abakiange yeye ni rafiki wa hai ama si lazima abaki rafiki, lakini juu ya mtoto watu wengine mnabaki lazima mcooperate.